My doctor's fear was reality. I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. I'm loyal, I'm kind, devoted, driven, respectful. Hello, I'm Curtis Ballard, and just want to share with you some things that define who I am. Father, son, an elder in my local church, friend, neighbor, co-worker. I am 62 years old, and I've been through quite a lot in those 62 years. I've been involved in some very unsavory circumstances. So you could say I was pretty much in my young age a product of my environment. But I did go to school, earned a degree in African American Studies, and at the same time I earned a degree in sociology. But what's most important is my relationship with God and the things He's done for me, how He has kept me, how He is carrying me through my current journey. I was diagnosed with prostate cancer in January of 2025. Back in the fall of 2024, my doctor, go to see my doctor on a regular basis, and he did blood work on me, and he said that my PSA numbers were elevated. But my doctor and the specialist was saying that it was caught early and that it was treatable. And they gave me options. I could do radiation chemotherapy, or they could just remove it. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. The biggest fear was making the right choice for me based off of what I needed, not what others have had, not what others did. I chose to go a more holistic and natural route. Why did I choose to go this route and not chemotherapy or radiation? In 2015, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. She went to the doctor, and the doctors set up appointments with specialists. They told her she had stage 4 breast cancer, and that the way they wanted to treat it was radiation and chemotherapy. And I saw my mom melt away. Her body was not strong enough to handle all of the chemotherapy and treatments, the shots, the radiation. I said to myself, that's not the route I want to go if I ever have to face the dreaded C word. I was inspired because of what I saw my mother and what she had to endure in 2015. And yes, unfortunately, in April of 2016, we laid my mother to rest. There was a friend of mine, church member, we were talking about cancer, and she told me that I need to watch this video on YouTube called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. So she sent me the video and I watched it, and it was talking about juicing and the benefits of juicing, where this guy, he documented his 30 days of juicing. And so I told my friend, I want to do this. I want to do a 60-day juicing. But now why I would juice was because all of the benefits that come from juicing. You get your nutrients, you get the vitamins, you get all of it in a power-packed punch.
Many people underestimate the power of juicing. Juicing is packed with nutrients that the body can use, as opposed to when people take supplements and they're excreted out through their urine. Juicing provides an alkaline environment, which is perfect when you are battling cancer. I became interested in holistic living when I had a roommate who was a literature evangelist. She was battling cancer, and she was the first person that I saw that was on a plant-based whole food diet. Fast forward down the road, my son and my brother were diagnosed with cancer a month apart. My son was 4 years old. My brother was 18 years old. My brother lost his battle with cancer. He took the route with massive amounts of chemo and radiation, and he lasted about 3 years. My son, we opted for him to be able to have surgery, but we declined any chemo or radiation therapy, which also prevented us from having lots of follow-up to make ensure that the cancer didn't return, mainly because chemo and radiation drugs will also cause cancer down the road. So I was introduced to juicing more so in 2020. My mother and I decided we wanted to detox, only to find out on the day that we were about to start that she had what was called a saddle embolus, and she had blood clots in every lobe of her lungs. We decided to continue to move forward with that juicing. Even with that diagnosis, she was discharged from the hospital, and we juiced for 7 days. And from that, my mother is still here. That was in 2020, and she is now free of blood clots. And so the more I learned or had these experiences, these testimonies that I experienced firsthand, I wanted to share this information. And so I began studying with the medical missionary movement. When I met Curtis, I was wanting to share all kinds of, information. We had a mutual friend who had been diagnosed with breast cancer. So I was telling him all the benefits of juicing and whatnot, and I referred him to the video Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead on YouTube. And surprisingly, he watched it and he came back to me and said, I want to juice for 60 days. And so I signed up for the challenge, same as he did, and it was yet another wonderful experience, seeing just the progress that he made, the weight loss, and manage his blood pressure using eggplant water. In a time where other people are getting sick, he didn't even get sick during those times. I have definitely been even more determined to continue moving forward with this. This is a movement. This is not just a ministry.
Let food be thy medicine. I started out 200 and during the 60 days of juicing, I literally lost a pound per day the very first 30 days. And as I closed out, I ended up weighing less than 200 pounds 3 weeks after we began the juicing journey. And this would have been my 4th colonoscopy. And each time I've had a colonoscopy, the doctor has always had to remove polyps. But this time, no polyps. For the first time, no polyps. And I attribute that to the juicing that I had. And so that encouraged me. If juicing can do this, can help make my body more alkaline, because cancer can't exist in an alkaline environment, then hey, why not do it even further? I want juicing to become a part of my regular habit. Faith is this thing that God gives me that helps me to go through this journey. I told you, when I was first diagnosed in January, I froze. When I started this juicing journey and I got a favorable colonoscopy with no polyps after 3 weeks. And then when I checked my PSA numbers 3 weeks after beginning and I saw that it had dropped 6 points, God was giving me that faith. He was showing me that I was on the right track. And the Lord has been with me every step of the way. And so now I'm accustomed to the Lord being there. My faith in God has increased. My time with God has increased. Time with my family and God has increased. And so I believe that the road that I'm traveling, He is traveling with me. One of the things that God gave me was a ministry. And with this ministry, I ministered to others. And as I ministered to others, it ministered to me. I was able to keep my mind off of what I was going through. I didn't just sit around and continue to be in fear and uncertainty and doubt. I was actively going out. And what I was doing is I was giving to those who were the least of my brothers and sisters, those who were unhoused and living on the streets, those who were the elderly. Ministry, 3 p.m. ministry. We go out every Sabbath and we pray with the community. And so helping the homeless, helping the elderly, helping anybody, that does wonders for my spirit. My friends, September is Prostate Awareness Month. Do your part. Go and get yourself checked. Prostate cancer is 100% treatable when caught early enough. But the biggest advice I can give you, get with a team of believers, people who believe in praying, people who have a relationship with God, and you pray and study God's holy word with them. It's going to take faith. It's going to take action. God, allow this to be a turning point. Allow this to be a kickstart in you developing a closer relationship with God, with your family, with your local church. And go to the doctor. You know, moving forward, I'm in God's hands. I can do all I can. I can do my part. I can do the juicing. I can do the exercises. I can get sleep. I can get plenty of sunlight. Drink plenty of water. Take all the vitamins in the world. But ultimately, it's the Lord's decision. I'm praying that the Lord's will be done. And whatever His will is, I'll be okay with that. Yea, though I walk through the valley, the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for Thou art with me. Because He's never let me down in the past, I don't see Him letting me down now.